Hi guys, let's make this beautiful peplum top together. It has crinoline at the dowel and it's a padded blouse. When you want to cut a peplum top or a fleece skirt or a fleece gown, the first thing you need to do is actually cut out the peplum first so that you won't have any form of joining, because it's definitely not fine and you can easily get the measurement wrong. So I'm going to do just a small pleating around that part, so that's why I made it this way. So just watch closely for you to see the measurements that I use. I didn't hide anything. So the length of the peplum is 10 inches, as you can see, and the roundness, you can see what I used. So I went ahead to cut it. I folded it the exact thing that I wanted, because guys, I hate wasting people's fabric. So now that upper part of the fabric of the peplum, I decided to use it as design because this material is not fine, so I wanted to just beautify it. Then now I'm going to go ahead to cut the upper part of the blouse. Now the half length is 17 inches, so I went ahead to mark 17 inches, then 9 inches. Please, I'm so sorry that I'm using my head to cover this camera. I totally forgot my phone was close to me there. So the half length is 14 and then everything is 17 inches with 3 inches band and all. I took 11 and a half for the nipple part of the clothes. So now I'm drawing the shoulder. I decided to just take the measurement so I can get that part of the shoulder. So please watch closely to see what I did. Came out in the middle of the shoulder and slanted the shoulder by 1 inch as normal. Then I went ahead with my neck of 3 and a half for the wideness, and for the depth we take the depth later. So now this is 5 on the chest line, that 9 parts, then the remaining part, which is the nipple, the half length and the under bust, 4 inches. Then I took half inches from this part of the middle. I took out half inches, and the other side I took out 1.5 inches, connected the first line to the first half that we drew, and then took half inches gap, which I will add at the armpit area. So you will get to see what I did. And I went ahead to take my measurement and added all the allowance that I took. You can see I'm using my hand to demonstrate. So if you don't get it with my voice notes, you can definitely get it from the video itself. So I went ahead to place it. You can see that I actually didn't waste this material. Normal, you won't see this half inch. It was for tutorial. I wanted you to be clear. Now for the neck, I went down by 4.5 inches. So when you're cutting, you have to start from the down part, so you can see what I did here. I went ahead to add about half inches round the down part of this padded, so I'll be using a padded foam there. That's half inches will help it reach up there. So I added back the half inch that I took from the other side, which I pointed out. Now this is to cut the back part of this blouse. It's just your normal pattern of cutting blouse, so just watch in case you don't really understand it. You can just watch it and you can see everything that I did. Make sure that the neck rhymes with that of the front, and everything will rhyme. And make sure you put your zip allowance. If you're going to put that at the back, make sure you add your 1 inch for your dart allowance. So you go ahead and slash it open because the zip is at the back. So you go ahead to cut out half inch and then measure 14 inches, come up by 1 and slant it this way. Now this will enable any bulginess. It will help you avoid any bulginess on your blouse. You can do this for a gown too. So this is it. I hope you understand what I just did. So this is for me to cut the hand of the blouse, so you can see what I did. Different strokes, different corrections, but I ended up getting the right thing. This folding that I'm doing right here is to get a band for the blouse. Now she has a big tummy, so when you put band for people who have big tummy, there's this fitting it normally gives. I know it's a peplum, even if it's a filet gown, you can just put it and it's going to definitely give your clothes fitting. So the remaining part of this fabric is going to be a hair tie. The fabric she gave me is not much, so I went ahead to cut another this is for the hand, to turn the down part of the hand. So you go ahead to cut lining for this fabric, and as I earlier told you, this is not the normal lining in the market. This is actually a material, it's a very light material, and it lines the clothes so good. That is why I'm always buying it. It's actually not that expensive, so if you have fabric like this that are not too expensive, you can definitely use it to line your clothes instead of buying that material in the market, because it normally tears even before you're done sewing. So you can see how I'm trying to manage even my lining, because I'm not out here to waste anything. So I can actually use this lining now that I'm using here to make a cloth for myself. So it's actually a material, so it's actually a two-in-one stuff. So this is how to cut a lining for a peplum. So I'm sure you understand what I did is to help you reduce waste and all. So this is the palette that I'm using. It doesn't have gum, so I'm going to have to pin it round before sewing, instead of sewing it before coming back to sew it again. So you see everything that I did. It's going to stop at your half cut. Look at how I cut it. You can see then I turn it this way. So it's actually simple, but if you don't understand how I cut this palette, you can actually send me a message. Please send me a message so that I can slow it down. I can just post only that part for you to see. So that this is the sewing part of this clothes. It's just something simple. I'm doing the back part and I'm going to turn the lining. I'm just turning all the lining, but when it comes to the front part, it is actually different. You have to make joining before joining it to the main fabric. So just watch and you understand everything. Now this is the design that I want to just place in the front part of the blouse. I just came up with the idea. So this is it. You can see how fine this lining is. I really love how it sits well with the clothes. It actually looks like lining, like that normal lining that they sell when it was still good. So that one is kept aside. So now you can see what I was talking about. I pinned it round to enable me just sew it. So this is going to help it fast and to help it not move. So you have to pin it well so you can see you reach the end. So when you want to make this part, you have to start your stitching from the down. When you are sewing a padded, your stitches has to be from the down. I don't know if you understand. It helps you get it right. You go ahead and do the same thing that you did for that part. Do it on the lining. Do the same thing and make sure everything sits well properly. So after this, we'll go ahead and iron our padded, because I've done the other part of the back and I kept it one side. So this is how to iron it. So my own stone, I made this stone. It has been a long time that I made this particular padded, what am I even going to call it? I honestly don't know the name. So it enables you iron padded properly. I made this since I was learning work, and I learned my work from 2017. So I think I made it 2018. It's not even I think. I actually made it 2018. So now I went ahead to get this part of gum. I think they call it hasty or so. God, I'm so bad with names. So you can see the measurement that I took. You can actually pause and see the measurement that I took, and I ironed it. I had to make this video fast because I am seeing 14 minutes and it is actually scaring me. I don't want it to be too long and too boring. That's why I'm actually stressing and talking, because I don't want you getting bored. If you've gotten up to this side, please give me a thumbs up, okay, and please comment. So I went ahead to put that on the clothes and then stitch that my zip allowance just gathers to enable me shaping the clothes. So you can see how I placed it to shape this blouse. It's quite simple, so you can see it. You go ahead and sew it. I hope you guys understand all these things that I'm doing. It's quite easy. So this is me joining the shoulder part, so everything just joins fine. It's not going to be showing that this is where your sewing ends and this is where it started from. So now this is me joining the hand part. Just very simple something. So now me top stitching it before folding it gives it this professional look. Apart from it looking any professional or anything, it helps the clothes balance well. That's the thing I observed about it. So I'll go ahead and place my hand on the blouse before I move to the peplum part of this clothes. I've actually not sewn the peplum because there's a crinoline on the peplum. So after I join the crinoline, put the lining and everything on the peplum, I'll just go ahead and insert it on the peplum after I've put the band and that other thing that other design that I created. So that's it, guys. So I'm just going to allow you watch. Now this wrapper is not like it's fine or anything, so I went ahead to cut about 3 inches of this yard and folded it into 2, giving me 1.5. So I attached it to the band of this clothes just to beautify this clothes and all. Guys, you really don't know what let's just get to the end of the video and you will get to see the comments of the woman who owns this clothes. You will see it. So this is me inserting crinoline on the clothes. I started to stitch the mount. You can see what I'm doing. I started to stitch the mount in order to avoid this poking her and all. I don't need any complaint right now in my life. So I went ahead and then connected it to the crinoline. You can see the crinoline is facing the lining and the lining is facing the front part of the fabric in order for it to go well. So this is it. You don't need to draw the clothes or anything. I am not drawing it. Then you cut it and then hem is the way you hem the first part of it. It's quite simple. And with this, the crinoline just stays well. You give it about 1 inch gap before joining on a normal. So you go ahead and stitch this side and then you go ahead to properly iron it. I went ahead to iron it though because this woman I'm sewing for is not an easy person, so I have to be careful. So I decided to add my design before I go ahead and add my crinoline. You can see it here. I just wanted to make it easy for me, so I decided to pin it round and then pleat it and pin it so that I will just go to the machine and sew it once instead of me pleating it as I'm doing it. As I'm joining it, I will not be pleating it direct. I said to just do it like this first for me to get a perfect measurement, because there's nothing wrong with getting a perfect measurement and making sure that you're not making mistake. So I went ahead to pleat it. It's quite big. I just wanted something nice for her. I just wanted her top looking good. First time customer, you need to make that person feel happy. Sometimes they don't even get to pay for some things. You just give them extra. Guys, I charged so cheap for this clothes, but the stress that later happened, I'm going to actually post her comments. Some customers shy, but the truth is that I actually didn't hear her. She said she doesn't want any design on her clothes, but this wrapper wasn't looking fine in any way. It's just there. You would think there's a 50-year-old person that wants to wear it, so she's not up to 50. So I wanted to just actually make it beautiful for her, but she turned out not to appreciate it. Actually almost turned into a fight. So me being a calm person, I just had to let it die down, and then I lose this whole clothes and started afresh. But you guys just learn how to make a fine blouse, because truthfully the blouse is actually fine and all. So you can see everything in this clothes that yes, this my clothes, nothing is cheap here. My padded is a bone guy. I even put crinoline. Like, guys, I really put my mind into this, and the fact that she doesn't like it hurts me. So now this is the rope that I put for the clothes. You can see how this blouse turned out. Guys, isn't this beautiful? So guys, this is her comments, and trust me, this blouse fit her and she said it was tight. Customer saying